Hello, my friends. This is Jim Bunch. I want to welcome each of you to what I hope is going to be a really exciting and informative webinar. Today, we're going to be talking about the 4 types of income: active, passive, psychic, and multiple streams of income. So do me a favor, as it says below, and I'm going to bump up that font a little bit just on a size here for you so we can see it. Type in where you're checking in from, and also what are you most excited about learning. So I'm going to check into the chat while we get rocking and rolling. And I know when I first learned about this concept of the different types of income, it really opened up my mind. It gave me some new possibilities, and that's what we're here for. So let's check in. We've got Sharon from Seattle, LA. Heather says passive income, Jacksonville. All right, Wilmette, is that how you pronounce it? Illinois? All right, Mariella is in Germany. Paul, Santa Barbara, was just in Santa Barbara actually last week. So love it up there. East Beach is one of my favorite places. Michael says Germany, curious to learn more about passive income. Daniel says Australia, and just listen to your 9 environments. Very cool. You're actually going to see a slide on the 9 environments in just a couple of moments, because that is a core concept that I'm always sharing with people. So welcome, welcome. South Africa, New Zealand, Great Britain, Denmark. Shirley from Toronto says more passive income. That seems to be the hot topic. So we will dive a little deeper into passive income. All right, Gary in LA, powered up. I love it, Robert. Hey, Robert Brandy, welcome, welcome. And welcome to the NeuroGym community. Hello, and Rob from Ecuador. I've got some friends down in Ecuador. I love it. I want to learn if there's something new about creating multiple sources of income. Very cool. All right. Well, as some of you know, just out of curiosity, one other question for you. How many of you are familiar with some of my teachings, whether it's through NeuroGym or through some of my live streams or other places from around the world? How many of you are familiar with some of the concepts that I teach, like the 9 environments, living an ultimate life, building an ultimate business? Or how many of you, this is your first experience? Who are my newbies? Okay, familiar with NeuroGym, love NeuroGym, repair and recovery. Yeah, you saw the repair and recovery course in there. First time? All right, well, welcome. And for those of you who've been around for a little while, it's great to reconnect with you. Saw the 9 environments? Perfect. Well, so let me share with you a little bit of a background, because it seems like there's a lot of new people on here, which is fantastic. Your fearless leader, John Ashraf, and I have been best friends and business associates off and on for over 20, almost 25 years. And John and I met through a good friend of ours and business associate, Bob Proctor, when John and I were working on building a company called Life Success Institute. And I had just come from the camp of Tony Robbins. I was 23 years old. I met John at 25, and John was the president. I came in to run sales for a company called Life Success Institute. And I was young and excited and thought, I'm going to take over the world. I didn't know John from Adam. I didn't even realize he was the president of the company. And I came into this event, and having just come from the Tony Robbins events where we had thousands of people in there, and, music and lights and all this. And I walk into the Life Success event, and I'm like, man, who's in charge of the lights? Who's in charge of crowd control? Who's in charge of the energy of the room? And I ended up talking to Bob Proctor and saying, Bob, somebody's got to change the environment here. You got to move this out here. You got to do this. So basically, I'm bossing everybody around. Well, one of the people I was bossing around was this guy, John Ashraf. I had no idea who he was. I had no idea that he had put $1 million into this company to start this company. And here I am basically interviewing for a job, and I'm bossing everybody around. So we ended up going to his house later on that night, and I realized, holy cow, this guy's done pretty well, because he wasn't that much older than me at the time. And I realized that he was the one who was funding this venture, and it was quite an interesting introduction. But the reason I share that story with you is you never know who's going to come into your life, who's going to share one idea, one concept, one strategy that's going to change the course of your life forever. And John and I ended up becoming very good friends. We've done multiple businesses together. Many of you have heard about his story at bamboo.com, where two 26-year-olds came up with the idea for 360 virtual tours and turned that business into an overnight success and changed the industry of real estate forever. Grew the company to 1,500 employees in a year, took it public in 9 months. I share that story because literally one idea, one conversation, one strategy executed upon can change your life forever. Yesterday, John and I were in Newport Beach together, and I had invited him to come up to a private investors conference. And we were there as accredited investors. I was also there because my other business partners and I have just broke a world record in crowdfunding, which means that we did the fastest ever crowdfunding raise to raise $1 million in an equity crowdfunding, which means that we were selling shares of our company. And yes, for some of you know that company's called Power. I'm not here to do a shameless plug, but I'm here to share with you that when you open up your mind, and that's really why we're here, I want you to open up your mind to possibilities of being financially free. Okay, that means that you are in a place where you have income streams coming in that allow you to focus on your strengths, your gifts, your talents, your passions, the things that you're here to do to create the biggest impact in the world. I want to caution those of you who believe that you're going to go create a bunch of passive income so that you can fade off into the night and not contribute back to the world. Because in my experience, that's not usually how it works. The more money that you have, the more income streams that you have, the more businesses that you own, the more responsibility you have. Now, that doesn't mean that it's stress. It means it's more responsibility, the ability to respond. So I want you to open up your mind. I want you to think about the possibility of being financially free. And I'm even going to share with you strategies and ideas and tactics on how to do that. But I also want you to know that in my world, when people have great reward, they often have great responsibility. Responsibility to have teams in place to manage that money. Responsibility to use that money for good. Responsibility to maybe empower other entrepreneurs to lift up their lives. So when he and I were at the investors conference yesterday, we were there as accredited investors watching 15 companies pitch their best ideas. Their best ideas to do everything from biofuel to one guy was in the oil drilling business, one guy was in the animated business, another guy had this ear technology that's supposed to be super high-end ear technology, all of this. And what I shared with him is, and John and I talked about this, number one, most of these people had unrealistic expectations. They were valuing a company that had $200,000 in revenue at $20 million. Now, John and I both have successful companies, and we know what it means to value your companies. And a business can be one strategy for getting financially free. But one of the things that that I want to share with you is that no matter whether you have a job, whether you have a business, whether you have portfolio or real estate or stock, you have a responsibility, and I will show you the pathway to become free. But I want to do that because I want more people helping more people. So all those in favor of learning the strategies, but also contributing back to the world, say aye. Let me know that I've got the right group, because I don't want you to just make a bunch of money and then go hide under a rock, okay? I want you to deploy that capital. I want you to encourage and inspire other entrepreneurs. I want you to step up and be an example of conscious entrepreneurs in today's day and age, okay? If entrepreneurism is your path. If it's not, maybe it's conscious investing. I personally will not invest in anything that isn't a part of the future that I want to see in the world. That's just my choice. That doesn't mean it has to be yours, but I want to share that from a values-driven place, because that's what my mentors have done with me. All right? So number one, open your mind to the possibility of being financially free. Number two, I want you to have multiple streams of income. All right? How many of you right now have one primary stream of income? How many of you have one or two or three? Tell me how many streams of income you currently have, okay? Just so I get an idea of where we are as a group, okay? So I hear 1, 2, 3, okay? 3 streams, all very modest, okay? One with a possible of 3 others, one really, maybe 2, okay? Well, here's the reality. If you have one stream of income and that stream of income is producing mass amounts of surplus, then you need to deploy that capital. And the goal of deploying that capital is to create more what? So let's say that you have one stream of income that is generating 2 to 5 to 10 to 100 times the amount that you need to live on every month. All right? Well, if that's the case, let's say your expenses are $5,000 or $10,000 a month. Let's just say $10,000 a month for easy math. All right? If your expenses are $10,000 a month and you have one income stream that produces $10,000 a month, you're at break even. Okay? If you're beneath that, you're at a loss. You're in repair. If you're above that by any stretch, then you're in surplus. Okay? Now, if your expenses are $10,000 a month and your income is 20, you're at 2x. Okay? If your expenses are $10,000 a month and your income is at $50,000 a month, that means that you're at 5x, meaning your income is 5 times what your expenses are. But what do you then need to do with that capital? You need to reallocate that 4x above, which means you're going to push that into either investments or real estate or stock or business. I'm going to show you that model in just a moment. Okay? But the key here is to develop multiple streams of income, not just one. And why is that? Why would you want multiple streams of income? What will multiple streams of income do for you? Go ahead and type it in down below. Security, independence, diversification, financial freedom. Okay, good. Choices, yes. Lifestyle, grow revenues faster. Philanthropy. Not all eggs in one basket, which means that you're reducing what? You're reducing or minimizing your what? If you don't have everything in one basket, you got it. Risk. And the more risky things are, the higher people's fear is, the lower their security is. So it's all related, right? So having multiple streams of income, as long as it's not all in the same bucket, can help you emotionally and mentally feel more confident, take better educated risk, invest, these kind of things. Now, number 3, outcome for today, is to have the financial resources to pursue your dreams. What are some of the dreams that you have? And this is important for us to do in the beginning because I'm going to show you the strategy in just a moment, but what are your dreams? And if you say something like world travel, right, which is fantastic, and that's one of the ones that I hear oftentimes, go deeper with me. Where do you want to travel? What kind of experience do you want? Do you want to go to Greece and go diving? Do you want to go to the top of Kilimanjaro and take a hike? Where do you want to go? What are your dreams? What are your goals? Paint a picture. Do you want to go by yourself? Do you want to go with friends? Do you want to go swimming with the whale sharks in La Paz? Go to Israel? Do you want to go to the sacred sites around the world? Do you want to help families in Jamaica? All right? Do you want to go on a Hawaiian cruise with your family? Bring your wife to the Maldives? You want to live more comfortably? Okay? Travel to all 7 continents. And what do you want to do on each of those continents? Provide housing to the less fortunate all across the world. Be an inspiration to single moms. Afford one luxury faraway trip and see 3 new cities every year. And have you mapped that out? I have a map downstairs with 26 cities that I'm going to visit. Okay? Foundation for the Needy, Mediterranean, Disney cruise, larger home. Do you want to build a green, sustainable home? Do you want to start up a new business? Do you want to start a nonprofit? All right, make your mom's final years her best years. Fantastic. What else? You want to help kids with autism. How many kids? See the Northern Lights. Visit Japan again. Swim in all the seas. Live in Paris, London, and New York. I love this. All right, so we have some awesome vision juice started. I think that's really important, okay? This is really important. Now, I also want to share with you that most people, their dreams seem further away than they actually are. Let me say that again. For most people, their dreams seem further away than they actually are. Now, one of the things that you need is you need money to do some of those dreams. or you need resourcefulness. You need creativity. You need to learn how to barter. You need to learn how to have time freedom and location freedom, okay? But most people's dreams are not as far away as they would expect. So I want you to hold just these thoughts, the possibility of being financially free. And by the way, what does it mean to be financially free? Let me give you a definition that I first heard from a friend of mine, Robert Kiyosaki. Financial freedom means your monthly expenses exceed your monthly income, passive income, exceeds your monthly expense. Not just your income, but your monthly passive income exceeds your monthly expense. That's what it means. So there's two ways to get there. Increase your passive income, decrease your monthly expense. If somebody's expenses are only $500 a month, it's pretty easy for them to get financially free. Okay? If somebody's monthly expenses are $50,000 a month, it takes longer and it's oftentimes harder for them to get financially free. So everyone has the possibility to be free. You can have multiple streams and you can have a purpose-driven life and pursue your dreams. Now, the first concept that I want you to understand here is that income is a subset of which environment? Income is a subset of the financial environment. And I'm not going to go into the 9 environments here. If you haven't watched any of the stuff that I've taught you about the 9 environments, it's really important for you to understand the concept, or at least the introduction to the 9 environments of you. Because every one of you has 9 environments that are surrounding you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you're human and you have a body and a mind and a soul, you have these 9 environments. When you start to upgrade your environments, you will upgrade your life. If you don't upgrade your environments, it's going to be very difficult to upgrade your life. Some of them cost money to upgrade, some of them don't. So you could upgrade your health today by eating healthy foods and eliminating junk foods, and that wouldn't cost you necessarily any more money. You could start exercising today and sleeping better today, and your body environment would improve, right? You could upgrade your network by getting rid of the negative people in your life, the people who don't believe in their dreams and the things they want to accomplish, right? You could upgrade your physical environments, right? This one right here, your physical environment, that's not such a good drawing. I'm going to erase that. You could upgrade your physical environments by, well, I'm not even sure where to find a little thing on this one. Oh, here it is. Got it. Okay, so you can upgrade your physical environments by simply eliminating clutter. So the environment that we're here to talk about today is called your financial environment. And I want to talk about the financial environment because a lot of people make this a really important piece of their life, and it is. But it shouldn't control your life, and it's not the only environment in your life, okay? Your cash flow, your business, everything that we're going to talk about for today's purpose is a subset of the financial environment. So this one environment of the 9 is what we're going to dive into today. And here's what's really cool. If you're doing life by design instead of life by default, and you design your financial environment properly, it can automatically upgrade the rest of your environments. What would you change in your environments if you had unlimited financial resources? What would you change? What would be the first things that you would change if you had an unlimited financial stream of income coming in? Go ahead and type it in. In your environments, what would you do? All right, so Lisa says my home on location. So you change your physical environment. You quit your work. So your work is a financial environment and a network environment. You'd have your own home, a physical environment, living space, clothing, car, all physical environments. Your health. So Janet, what specifically? Would you have a chef? Would you have a nutritionist? Would you have an exercise therapist? What would you have in your life? Okay. Even in the financial, would you have a wealth team in place? Right. So for me, and I know John's the same way. You know, the more money you have, you start upgrading your financial team, your wealth team. And the reason that you do that is you get access to better information and better resources. Start a business. Well, a business is a financial and network environment. have a chef, have a staff, okay? So that would be in a relationship and network environment, and a body environment. Pay off college, new home by the ocean. Again, now you're changing nature in physical environments, okay? Remodel your home, okay? So good, you're getting it. I love it, I love it, I love it. How many of you would end up hanging out with different people? If you had more money, how many of you would go to different events, hang out with different people? Okay? How many of you might feel like you were more at liberty to live your self-environment, like to be who you truly are, to follow your strengths, gifts, and talents and passions in life? Okay? Yeah, somebody says network like crazy. Okay, good, good, glad to see it. All right? So, when we drill from the big environment of financial, because financial environment has to do with anything to do with money, with businesses, all of that, I'm going to make it as simple as I can for the purposes of today. And I've taught this to the Master Your Mindset community before, something called the 4 pathways to wealth. Okay? Now, there are plenty of pathways to wealth, but I like to categorize things to make it easier for people's minds to hold the ideas, to hold the concepts here, okay? So the first is called portfolio. So let's say that you decided that one of the ways that I'm going to build wealth is through stocks, through portfolios, okay? So there are multiple ways to buy stocks. There are multiple ways to invest, right? Now, how many of you have either currently or in the past invested some of your income in purchasing stocks, whether they're public stocks or privately held stocks? How many of you have dabbled in the stock market in some way, shape, or form? Okay? Stocks, mutual funds, okay? All right, perfect. Okay? And look at the and look at some of the one of the pathways to wealth. Okay, and a lot of people who are employees, that's what they do. Is they say, all right, I'm gonna put some stock back into my, or put some money back into my stock inside my company, and I'm gonna invest in other companies. When you invest in portfolios, right, you are investing in somebody else's asset class, whether it's investing in real estate or business or whatever. All right. The next one is, and this is a little out of order, but I'm going to go to real estate. Real estate is another common way for people to build wealth, okay? How many of you, part of your wealth strategy is to invest in real estate, not just your own home, but in additional homes, okay? So maybe you own other homes that you have people renting, maybe you have apartments or condos, or maybe you have high-rises or towers or office space, commercial, right? Okay, so that is a strategy. That is a pathway to wealth. All right? How many of you have also dabbled in business? Okay? How many of you either currently own a business or have started a business in the past? Okay? All right, good. So we've got a number of business owners in here. All right, and self-employed, right? So self-employed is a subset of the business class, all right? Now, oftentimes, self-employed people actually just basically run their own show, but the business runs them, okay? And it's not to say you can't make great money in it, but if you're making great money as a self-employed person, you have to reallocate that capital, or else you're just selling more of your time, all right? But a business is something where you have sales, marketing, finance, and I'm going to show you the structure in a moment, but you have all the structures of a business, okay? So the last one I'm going to talk about here is affiliate or MLM. With affiliate income or MLM income, you are leveraging somebody else's, and by the way, am I clear or is it breaking up for the rest of you? Because Thumper is saying that it's not clear for him. Is anybody else having problems? Okay, so then it's not on my side, it's on Thumper's side and Lisa's. Breaks up occasionally. Okay. I've shut down everything I can shut down on my computer. All right? All right. So if it's clear for some, then it's on your guys' side. Okay? It wouldn't be possible for me to be clear on some and not on the others. All right? Let's keep diving through. All right. On the affiliate an MLM side, it means that you are a representative leveraging somebody else's core business. Okay? So I want to talk now, that's just to give you a framework, and this is, again, part of the subset of financial. It's not the whole thing, but it's a subset of financial, and it's a way to create income streams. So I want to talk first about something called active income. Okay? Now there's two types of active income. There's active income where somebody's going into a job or going into a place of business or doing something, and they're really there to collect a paycheck. All right, now how many of you have been in this situation before where you didn't love what you were doing? You weren't passionate about it. Maybe you didn't even feel like you were contributing to the world, but you needed a paycheck. You needed to pay your rent. You needed to pay your car. You needed to do that. How many of you have been there or you're there right now? Okay, and be honest with yourself. You're going in there because you've got bills to pay and you need to collect a paycheck. Okay? Now, for most of us, that's not a great way to live. That's actually a very stressful, uninspiring way to live. And I want to encourage you to start to expand your thinking and get out of that kind of living, because the reality is, and I've been there before, I can remember back to, and I've had very few jobs in my life. As a matter of fact, I think I've probably had about 3 or 4 jobs in my life. Most of the time, I'm running my own companies or I'm partnering with people and we're running businesses. That's what I love to do. But I have had a couple of jobs. I remember one job that I did was produce. I worked in the produce section of a grocery store down in Florida called Publix. I was in high school and I enjoyed that. Actually, I've probably had more jobs than that now that I think back to high school and stuff. But I remember this one time I graduated college. I needed to make some income, and I took a job doing inside sales for these guys who were refinancing people's automobile loans. So I was on the phone calling lists of people who had taken loans out, and we were calling them to help refinance their loan to lower their bills. I absolutely hated it. I detested going in there. It didn't matter how much money I made. I thought to myself, am I really making a difference in the world? Am I really doing something that I'm passionate about? The answer was no. And my heart couldn't get excited about it, so as a result, I was not that successful, okay? So here's the second way. If you're doing active income, all right, here's what I would encourage you to look at, all right? And by the way, you know, Lady Yvette says a job is just over broke. I've heard that term before. That's sometimes true, but I know people who have jobs, don't enjoy what they're doing, but they make a lot of money. They're not just over broke, they're making a lot of money, and as a result, they don't have the you-know-whats to go out and start their own business because they're like, I'm making $250,000 to $500,000 a year here. I don't have to worry about everything else. I'm stuffing money away. I'm investing. I own real estate. Like, I know people that's their strategy. My mom was one of those people. My mom never made a lot of money, but she made enough to pay for a decent lifestyle, and she's been investing for 30 years, and she's done extremely well. That is a good strategy. Her active income, though, happened to be in an area that she was mastering her craft. My mom was a dental hygienist, and a damn good dental hygienist. Okay? She loved it. She studied it. She'd teach it to other people. She was constantly mastering her craft. Okay? And when you are in active income, like I'm doing active income right now, right? I'm doing something that I'm passionate about, something that I enjoy, something that I've been doing for decades. I'm teaching other people, and I love it. You couldn't pay me to not do this, okay? Because I love doing it. So when you are doing active income, and I encourage all of us to be doing active income, which is why I said I do not want you all to give up on your active income. I don't want you to make enough money to just get out of the game, okay? I want you to do active income. The reason I want you to do active income is it challenges you to master the game. It challenges you to get better. It challenges you to take your thinking to another level. How many of you are doing active income and you love it? Like you know that you're getting better. You enjoy it. You're learning. You're growing. You're contributing. How many of you are in that place? Okay. Now the key when you're doing active income, all right, the key when you're doing that is to make sure that your active income is also what we call psychic income. Okay, now the goal of active income, and I'm going to talk about psychic in a moment, the goal of active income is to continually get better and better and better at what you do, and if it's possible, increase the amount of active income you get for every minute that you do your active income. Okay, so I remembered I've got many different skill sets. Okay, and Nestor is saying I do have conflicting commitments and I'm changing my beliefs. Good. Nestor is also studying. I love that. All right. I can remember when I first started doing coaching. Now, coaching is one of my skills. I love speaking. I love leading masterminds. I love coaching. That's all what I call active income. I also love building businesses. Some businesses we keep as cash cows. Some businesses we take public. Some businesses we sell. Okay? That's a different set of skill sets than doing active income. I use those active incomes of the mentoring, coaching, and speaking inside of each of my businesses. But I can think back to when I first started my coaching practice. And by the way, how many of you are a coach and how many of you have ever hired a coach? Just out of curiosity. How many of you are a coach or you've ever hired a coach? Yes to both. Okay. All right. I love coaching. Coaching transformed my life. Coaching came into my life when I was in a very difficult time. I was confused. I was overwhelmed. I had no clear direction. And the coach that I hired helped me build a solid foundation and put me on the course to actually not only getting my life back in shape, but I became a coach because his question to me is if I help you, would you be willing to help other people? And I said, of course, I'm desperate. I'll do whatever I can, right? And so it ended up becoming a career path for me, but I also use that skill in building and scaling companies. So I share this with you because I think it's a very valuable skill. I think everybody should learn to be a coach. It helps you in your own life and it helps you help other people in a mentoring situation. When I first got into coaching, I charged $300 for 3 30-minute sessions. I made 6 figures my first 90 days in coaching because I knew how to build a 6-figure practice. And then I turned around and taught other people how to do it. I don't do that now. I may come back and teach people how to do that at some point. But in 90 days, I had a 6-figure coaching practice. And I was charging people $300 a month for 3 30 minutes. And then I started teaching groups. And then I started teaching courses and had live events around the world with thought leaders and yada, yada, yada. I share that with you because I went from earning $300 a month for my active income to the last time I did private coaching, it was $10,000 a month for 3 45-minute sessions. Now think about that. Yes, I got better. Yes, I increased my skills. Yes, I changed my clientele. But I went from $300 a month to $10,000 a month per client. Now that's still cheap compared to what I do when I do live events. I'm working on an event right now in the Philippines that'll have 1,000 people there. We're going to run an Ultimate Wealth Workshop. 1,000 people. That event will probably net somewhere close to $150,000 to $200,000 to $500,000 for 2 days. Now, what I've done is I've been mastering a craft. I've been perfecting a skill set, something that I am passionate about, but something that can also pay me well. Okay? So how many of you can see that you can do active income for very little money and you can do active income for great money? How many of you know of comedians that don't get paid at all or musicians that don't get paid at all? And then there's people who make millions doing it. How many of you know business owners who don't get paid at all and the ones who make millions or billions doing it? How many of you know people who trade stocks but don't make much money and people who make a fortune doing it? Okay? So here's the reality. If you're going to do active income, and I think you should, focus on mastering a craft. Focus on something that you're passionate about. Focus on something that gives you the second type of income, which is called psychic income. Psychic income feeds your soul. Psychic income wakes up your life. Psychic income is what makes it easy to get out of bed when you've been up all night working on a project. Okay? Psychic income is what helps you overcome the challenges and hurdles. Psychic income is what helps you with your expression of your strengths, your gifts, and your talents and your interests. I can remember the first time that I went on stage. I was nervous. My hands were clammy. I was looking out at the audience and all I could do was think, oh my gosh, I hope I don't screw this up. Fast forward 25 years later, I can walk in front of an audience of 50 people, 500 people, or 50,000 people and feel just as comfortable no matter what, knowing that I'm delivering value, knowing that I've been mastering a set of skills to move people beyond where they currently are for decades. All right? So the expression of your gifts, your talents, and your strengths and your interests is why you want to build active income and psychic income, because it feeds your soul. The other piece of psychic income is to make sure that you're contributing to a larger cause. Make sure that you are clear on your mission and your vision. How many of you, actually not even how many of you, please share with me some of the visions or missions or causes that you're up to right now. What are you using your strengths, gifts, and talents for? You know, it's very clear to me that I personally am on this planet for a purpose and a very limited time. From 0 to 100 is going to go pretty quick, right? So I'm really aware that every day I need to be contributing to the world. All right, so I'm seeing energy healing, animal welfare, healing people's hearts and their psyche, assisting young people, a wellness, balanced, healthy life, energy that creates inspired change in people, volunteering in an animal center, creating jobs for people, animal sanctuary, a teacher, writer, author, transition from software engineering to health coaching, stimulate people, retirees living their purpose and identity, inspire women to reach their true potential. Okay, I love it. Clean energy. Yes, Nestor, I hear you, buddy. Try to get people out of the hand of the medical pharmaceutical complex. Yeah, shifting people to healthy, right? Community fundraising, okay? Helping people with anxieties and mental issues. I love it. All right, helping other people follow their passion in drilling water wells. Look at the community that you have. Look at the network environment that you have built in place, right? Here's what's amazing. I find that like attracts like. I find that visionaries hang out with visionaries. I find that people who are positive and inspiring hang out with positive and inspiring people. And I find the opposite to be true, too. Okay? So the last piece of psychic income that I want to talk about here is making sure that what you're doing is aligned with your values. Have you ever been in a situation where, and I've been here before, where you started up a business started to succeed. Maybe it did or didn't succeed, but in one case I can remember, this was about 5 years ago, I got together with one of my friends and 3 people I didn't know very well. And we had this idea. We had this idea that we could enter into the app space. And a lot of people don't know this, but there is a bounty paid every time you download an app. Did you know that even when you download an app, even if it's a free app, there is typically a bounty that is paid? Could be pennies, could be dollars for every time that app is downloaded. So when you're sharing an app with a friend, maybe it's a YouTube app, or maybe it's the new Pinterest type app, or maybe it's whatever, okay? Every time that you're doing that, somebody is making a penny, a dime, a dollar off of that. So we came up with this idea, and we said, what if we created an app that allowed people to download all these other apps for free, and every time that somebody downloaded that free app and they invited somebody to those apps, it tracked the commissions that would have normally been paid to these big app companies. It tracked it back to the people who are actually sharing the apps. Because you and I are constantly telling people, oh my gosh, did you get this new picture app? Did you get this new open table app? Did you get this new whatever, right? So we came up with this idea, and this is actually a picture from that, I just realized that, where I was on stage. We launched the idea, and our idea grew so viral that it went to 1 million people. We had 1 million people download our app in 79 days. Broke a world record, 79 days. Right? Sounds fantastic. We had 1 million people in 190 countries download our app. This thing was going gangbusters. It blew up. We were crashing systems left and right. But guess what happened? My business partner and I, 2 of us out of the 5 of us, had similar desires. We wanted to help change the world. We wanted to help educate and inspire people to start their own businesses. The other guys, they wanted to jam a bunch of crappy products down this 1 million person pipeline. Well, ultimately, they got their way. And guess what? It killed it overnight. One of my biggest lessons from that, because we invested a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of building of this, one of my biggest lessons is that you have to be aligned with your values. Because when push comes to shove, if you're not aligned with your values, you're probably not going to win. And this goes back to, again, your active income, making sure that it's psychic income. Listen, if you have active income right now that isn't inspiring you, that isn't making you a ton of money, there's no loss in switching to another active income that at least makes the same amount of money, but now it feels like you've got a purpose, right? If you were making $5,000 a month doing active income that you didn't enjoy, do you think it's possible with the millions of jobs and careers out there that you could find another job that paid you $5,000 a month that you actually enjoyed and actually felt like you were using your strengths, gifts, and talents? I bet you could, right? You could make that transition. So the key here is to make sure that if you're doing active income, and I encourage you to do that, that you also are doing psychic income. All right, so is this clear? And I know I've laid a lot of foundation here, but I want to make sure before I dive into this next piece, all right, that this is clear. Because I'm going to start talking about passive income. I'm going to start talking about multiple streams of income. But it's really important that we engage our souls and our minds in the right type of active income and passive and psychic income. Very clear. Okay, cool. Are you ready to get to the next step? Are we ready to rock and roll? All right. You guys mind if I stand up for a couple of minutes? Here's what I'd like to do. I want to stand up. I'm going to have to shift my stuff here. I've been sitting down too long. I have an electronic stand-up desk, so I'm going to press a little button. It's going to raise here. Okay. I'm going to kick the chair out of the way. All right. You're going to get a little bit different view here. And we'll probably sit down back in a minute. Okay, I needed to stretch. I needed to get my body moving a little bit here. Good for my health, yes. I left my fitness tracker in the desert last weekend, so normally it's buzzing me. Okay, so it says it's clear, never heard of psychic income. All right, so let me just ask each of you, what's your biggest takeaway so far from active income and psychic income? Okay? What is your, and we'll get into, the bootstrapping conversation will start maybe in this one. I'm not sure this is the right context for that. But what's your biggest takeaway so far from active income and psychic income? Okay? That you need both? Okay, good. Yeah, love what you do for your living? Love what you do. Yes, yes. Yeah, it's a huge loss of life if you don't love what you're doing. That's just a simple reality, okay? Fees for coaching, that helped, okay? You made the right decision 3 years ago to move your switch to careers and follow your passion, awesome. Yes, psychic income boosts your life to a more meaningful life. By the way, it also invokes the law of attraction, all right? If you're not happy about what you're doing, if you're not excited, if you're not passionate, if you're not learning, you're not growing, you're probably repelling opportunity, okay? And yes, master your craft. Good. All right, you're on track. All right, so now when you start thinking about building a business, okay, which is what we're going to talk about next, every business starts with active income. Think about it. Every business starts with someone doing active income. Hopefully, if you've been through the course that John and I worked on together called Cloning of Business Success, you have actually looked at the map, the roadmap, on how to build a mission, a vision, and your values, how to define your goals, strategies, tactics, timelines, and KPIs, right? So we've given you a roadmap, but that business and every business starts as what? It starts as active income with a goal of becoming passive income and multiple streams of income. That's the goal. But it doesn't start that way, okay? Monlu says, you guys are making too much money off me. The reality is, Monlu, I can promise you one thing. Number one, John and I have invested a lot more money than any one of you, I promise, okay? John and I have spent a fortune in our development, but I'm telling you, the reason that we developed our own programs is because we realized that we had to share what we've learned with other people. And the key is to take this information and apply it. This is exactly what I did and John did. We studied from the best of the best every single day. and then we applied it. And then we realized what was missing and what wasn't relevant with the current time. The guys that we learned from, many of them are, they're old, they're gone now, right? Okay, so here's the key. And if you look at this, I want to show you this model. To the left is called the business core, okay? And I'm going to blow this up full screen for just a moment because I want you to see the business core, okay? All right. So, hold on, I'm going to have to cancel that for a second. I'm just going to make it bigger by doing this. I'm going to drop the chat down for a second, all right, because I want you to focus. I'll come back with the chat. Okay, so the business core. This is something that I created as a model to help people get the framework for what it takes to build a successful business so that it can ultimately be passive income stream, okay? A passive income stream, because a business that has multiple streams of income and is passive means that you're what's called an owner, non-operated, meaning you own the company, but you don't operate the company every day. Well, successful businesses have all of these things in place. Number one, in the middle, they're very clear on their values. What's the value that they bring to the world? That's how they align the right team. Number two, what's the mission that they're on? And what's the vision of a better world that they see? Then, what are their products and services? So all of that is right in the middle of the business core, okay? That is the heart of every single business. It's the values, the mission, the vision, and then the product and service, okay? Then the next thing you're going to notice is every business has to have marketing and sales. That's the revenue generator of the business, okay? It's got to have marketing and sales. In today's day and age, you also have to have customer support, technology, operations, HR, finance, and legal. These are all divisions of your business. Now, you don't have to have all these in-house, but you have to have these. And the bigger the business is, the more likely that you have staff or teams or strategic partners that are running each of those divisions of the business, okay? So, does this make sense, okay? Do you guys understand? Ops is operations, okay? Operations. So, for me, this is the simplest way that I've been able to communicate to people, and I invented this chart here to help people understand that you can rate your business in each of these different areas. And when you have a successful business that's operating at 8, 9s, and 10s in each of these areas, you can likely step out of the business running it day to day and hire somebody. When I first met John, all right, and remember I said I met him at Life Success Institute, that was a new business that John had invested in and had spun off with Bob Proctor, Murray Smith, Mark Meyerdirt, Jeff Smith, and myself. And the idea of that business was to create a life success university that people could come to and learn from all the best people in the world, okay? This was back in 1994, 95. I'm sharing this with you because when you start a business, we all worked in the business. But the reason that John could put $1 million into that company and in his 30s, and why John could work in the business part-time and out of the business part-time, is because he also owned 73 RE/MAX offices at the time. He owned the franchise rights for the state of Indiana. He built up those 73 offices with thousands of real estate agents. And then guess what? He hired a president to come in and run all 73 of those offices. So John was an owner of that business, but he didn't have to operate the business every single day. Does this make sense? Do you follow the idea or concept? Because he had all of these things in place. And that allowed him to then take part of his capital and his time, his active income, and go pursue something that he was passionate about and build the team. Okay? Now, the reason that I have listed beneath here, do you see where it says Jim Bunch, Power, Ultimate Game, and US Green Chamber? So once you understand this business core formula, you can actually build multiple streams of income inside your business, and you can also build multiple businesses that have multiple streams of income, okay? So here's the simple reality, and I want to explain these just so you understand a little bit about this structure. So you took the Ultimate Game of Life. Awesome, Yvette. Hey, it's great to see you on here, okay? So if you look at the Jim Bunch, the reason I put that up there, I could put John Ashraf in there. I could have put Richard Branson in there. I could have put Elon Musk in there. I could have put Bill Gates in there, right? I could have put Oprah Winfrey in there. That is you. That's the business of you. And no matter who you are, you have the business of you. The reason that you're investing in yourself is because you are in the business of you. Now, some of you have found a way to monetize the business of you, right? Some of you have found a way, I'm going to put some more light on it. Some of you found a way to look at you as an asset. If you're doing active income, if you're doing keynote speaking, if you're doing coaching, if you're doing consulting, if you do anything that trades time for money, even working at somebody else's business, that's the business of you. You are an asset, and you're worth $5 an hour, $50 an hour, $500 an hour, $5,000 an hour, $50,000 an hour, $500,000 an hour. That's the business of you. So when I go do keynotes, when I do this kind of stuff, you're valuing your talents, strengths, gifts, your active and psychic income right there. Now, underneath that, and I'm going to draw a little arrow here for you, this is how I have my stuff structured, okay? And I just wanted to share this with you so that you had a model. This right here is one of my assets, okay? This is a software company that we have been building called Power, and that has 22 staff, 3,500 sales force. It has 42 solar providers, this company, and we have software that connects all of this. We've built this in about, well, in total, in about 3.5 years, but we kind of went above the radar about 2 years ago, okay? That company has also been breaking all kinds of records. We're here to shift the world to clean energy. So that's that company Power. And we're building a machine. We're building a business. I'm the president and co-founder of that company. My business partner is Jonathan Budd. So I share that with you to help you understand that that was an idea that Jonathan, so I'll back up and I'll share the story so you see how this all starts as active income that becomes passive in MSI. I invited Jonathan Budd, a good friend of mine, to go down to the rainforest with me and Bill and Lynn Twist. We went 200 miles deep in the Amazon rainforest to meet a tribe called the Oshawa tribe. And while we were down there, we were there because this tribe has been successful at fighting off some of the major oil companies from stripping their lands and killing their people. So we went down there, and yes, I love Lynn Twist too. We've been donating money to her nonprofit called Pachamama for many years. But we decided to go down to the rainforest to see what was going on firsthand. And while Jonathan and I were in the rainforest, we were working with the Oshawa tribe, and Jonathan had this vision that we were supposed to create the world's first 100% clean energy direct sales company. And I told him, I go, dude, I'm living on the beach. I've got a great wife. I've got a great life. I've got a 10-year, at the time he was 5-year-old son. I said, that is a fantastic idea, and you should go do that. Because there's no way, man. I'm living on the beach. I'm surfing. I'm having fun. I don't have the bandwidth to go start up something like that. And so he did. He started it off. He put his own money in. He started building his team, and he hired the tech team, started building this thing. And I was advising and mentoring him, and next thing you know, I realized, wait a second, I need to be involved in this. So I invested in the company. I came in, took over as president, and we've been building the company and breaking world records ever since. All right? I share that with you because it was an idea. It's taken a lot of energy, a lot of active income. It's taken our capital. It's taken a lot of our team. And now we're building a company that nobody else in the world. We partnered with Elon Musk in Solar City. We've done some amazing things. But now we're scaling around the world. But that took a lot of energy. Just like NeuroGym started with John's idea, and then he brought on team, and he brought Andy in, and now he's been growing this community of amazing people and customers, and you're all part of that, right? So this is another business here called The Ultimate Game of Life, and this is a company that I started over 12 years ago because I saw tons of people getting excited about personal growth and development, but they weren't following through. So I started this business to help hold people accountable in a coaching environment. Well, now we're turning it into a whole brand. We're turning it into an ultimate life company with apparel and all kinds of stuff. So I'm not here to give you the pitch on this, but I want you to understand that every business starts as active income. It starts with an idea that you have to work towards, all right? The U.S. Green Chamber is a nonprofit that I'm a chairman of this national nonprofit, which is gathering the largest conglomeration of businesses that want sustainability, okay? The reason that I'm sharing this with you is that you have the ability to start and build these businesses. Every one of us does, okay? Every single person has the ability. And each one of these businesses has the potential to become passive if you build what? What has to be in place? For this to be a passive income stream, what has to be in place? All of this, okay? All of this. You have to have the right values for that company. You have to have a mission and vision. You have to have good products and services, right? And those products and services, oftentimes you start with one, and then you add a second one, and a third one, and a fourth one, and a fifth one. That helps your business grow with multiple streams of income. That's what MSIs are, multiple streams of income. Every business starts with one income stream, and then it grows hopefully to 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Once it does that, guess what? Now you've got a real business, all right? Those streams of income require marketing, sales, customer support, HR, legal, finance, operations, technology. But it doesn't mean that it has to require you being there all the time. So you want to build this as an entity. Remember, the business is a subset of what? The business is simply a subset, and I'm going to point this out, of the financial environment. It's a subset of you. It's an entity. It is an environment of you. And the mistake that most people think is, well, I'm a business. No, you're not the business, because then it's not a business. Okay? Even if you're like me and you've got a Jim Bunch business, you will always own your personal brand. But you've got to build the structure for the business. Okay? All right? Now, inside of each of those businesses, you have multiple streams of income. It's called product lines. Is this making sense? Do you understand that this is one of the ways you could have one business with 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 100 income streams? All right? Now, that's if you start a business, you own the business, you're responsible for the business, and you build the business. All right? Now, let's talk about the other ones. Remember, I already talked about this before, but you've got multiple streams of income. Business is just one of them. Okay? You might own a business, and then that business spins off enough cash flow that you can then hire professionals to start acquiring real estate. Right? You may be in the real estate business and saying, I'm now wanting to create real estate businesses. Okay? You might own multiple properties. Okay? So here's the question. How do you create multiple income streams for your business? Take a look at this one, for example. This right here is in the music industry. Okay? In the music industry, you might have a manager, a songwriter, an artist, a band. You might have recording, distributors, retailers, record labels. You might have publishing. You might have gigs or events, right? So all of this is things inside of a music business. Music, think about it. You might be a musician. You might love what you do. But if it's a business, you're going to have different events. You're going to have product lines. You're going to have digital downloads. These are all things inside of a traditional music business. Every one of those is a stream of income. And if you had 3, 4, 5, 10 of those, and each one of them did $1 million a year, and this is the way I look at it, if a product line doesn't do $1 million a year on its own, is it a good product line? I know John and Andy talk about this, is they look at each of the different product lines that they have inside of Neurogen, and they're tweaking each one to make sure that it's serving enough people. That's multiple streams of income inside of Neurogen. All right? So Lena is saying, wow, are you getting the structure? Is this helping you with expanding your thinking around multiple streams of income? I just want to know if we're on track. Because any business can have multiple streams of income, okay? Any business. Here's another example, all right? Yes, thanks. Okay, you're getting it? Cool. All right, so any business can have multiple streams of income. Here's a blogging business, okay? Now, a blogging business can have affiliates and get money for hosting, right? It can get money for having, I'm gonna have to change the color on this pen here, okay? You know, it can have hosting income. It can make money for plugins, right? You can refer domains over. You can refer blogging tools, right? You can make money for stock photography. So these are all ways to monetize, right? Maybe, you know, and again, this is for bloggers, right? Inspire bloggers, all right? What about products? Well, maybe they host a class once they get good. Maybe they have a membership for their blogging. Maybe they make money off of Kindles. Maybe they make money off of things that they're printing. These are all what? Multiple streams of income. If one of them produces $5,000 a month and another one produces $100,000 a month, the value of that one, assuming the margins are the same, is 5x the other one. Okay? Same thing. So I know I'm going kind of deep on this, but I wanted to make sure that I got some value for each of you to get you to think about how businesses truly operate and how any business can have multiple streams of income. All right? So I want to make sure that you're all getting this concept. So, and again, like in this one right here, because I want to break these down to see. So Power has a licensing fee. It's a one-time licensing fee of $500. Okay? That is a stream of income. And we've had over 3,500 agents license our software from around the world. We also have another stream of income that is a software package for $30 a month that allows people to take all the media from all this environmental stuff and share it with their Facebook lead and track it back to the business. Okay? We have people who use that product and service. We have events, which is a revenue stream, right? We do live events. We have solar appointments and solar sales. So right there off the bat, our business already has 5 income streams, okay? The Ultimate Game of Life has many income streams, okay? We have 24-hour challenges. We have 28-day challenges. We have a 90-day challenge. 90-day challenges are $500. We have a mastery program that's $5,000 to $10,000 a year. We have an Ultimate Life Coach certification program, which is $10,000 a year. We have an Ultimate Wealth workshop. We have Ultimate Life workshops. We have high-end masterminds where people come work with me. So each of these are product lines, okay? U.S. Green Chamber of Commerce has memberships that it offers with 5 different levels. We also take in charity and grants and donations, right? Each of these are income streams, all right? Is this making sense? Do you follow how you can take any business and build multiple streams? But you have to get one stream going first. What are some of the product line extensions inside of Neurogen? What are the revenue streams inside of Neurogen? Type them in. What are the revenue streams? You should all know this because you're all at least in one right now, okay? And if you know the price points, type it in. I want you to think about this from a business standpoint, okay? Winning the game of money, winning the game of fear, right? Winning the game of health, game of business, right? Those are all product lines. Yes. Mastering your mindset, MYM. Okay? Yeah. So coaching, right? Business black, cloning of business success. Now, when you get into some of these products, you're going to realize some are products and some are services. Okay? John and I used to run together a program called Escape Velocity. Escape Velocity was a 25K mastermind, $25,000 a year to come have us work on your life and your business. Okay? So, but that's active income. That was trading time for money. Each of these products has a team that's running advertisements to a landing page, to a brain-a-thon, you know, through a system that has customer support, it has service, it has all this stuff, right? So this is multiple streams of income inside of a business, all right? Now, multiple streams of income require, as I've already mentioned, they require people to support these things, don't they? They require a team. So somebody's got to build and manage that team. If the goal is to have passive income, and that was the one thing that most of you typed in the beginning, I want passive income. The idea of passive income is you are not trading your time to produce that revenue, but someone else will be. Now the goal is to have someone else working inside your business who is doing what? Active income, psychic income, and creating value for the company. So do you see why I shared with you in the beginning how important it is for you as an entrepreneur or even as an employee to understand that what you're actually looking for is to have people who have active income, and they're not just there collecting a paycheck, they're there because they want to master a craft, right? If you built a team of people who are mastering the craft of sales, okay? You built a team of people who are mastering the craft of marketing. That's the majority of the business. That's 80%. You crack the code on marketing teams, sales teams, you win. Today's day and age, you can license or build technology. Customer support, that's just taking care of the people that are coming in. You know, human resources, making sure that you're taking care of the team that you're building. Legal is making sure that you're protecting yourself. Finance is making sure that as you build these multiple streams of income and as you have expenses, that you're operating on a margin that's going to allow you to grow and sustain your business. And operations is managing all of the inner workings of this business with all the technology and all the team and everything that's happening. Okay? Yeah, and Joe is saying, Roger Hamilton, good guide on getting the right people in your team. Yeah, if you've done I actually introduced John and this team to the Wealth Dynamics. You know, that's good to help you understand your profile. Okay? And yes, I hope, Janet, that I'm forcing you to go deeper. If this is blowing over, how many, by the way, is there anybody who's just lost? Like you're like, oh my gosh, I've already hit full. I'm crammed out. I don't think I can take in any more. You've gone way too deep for me. Is anybody there? Or are most of you like, wow, this is the deep dive that I wanted to take, and I'm giving you the right framework. I'm going to go through all this again so you get it. Okay, but I'm taking you inside, hopefully, the mind of John and myself and how we see the world, how we see business. Okay, this is the framework that was never given to me. I had to go out into the world and build businesses and pay tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars to learn this material. And then I had to come back and I had to organize it into things like this business core, right? Because nobody had packaged it in a way that I could visualize it and go, now I have something tangible to work with, okay? And yeah, Joe's saying, no, I kind of stumbled on this. Most of you know this, but you don't. If you got a lot of information, but you don't have the right container for it, you have confusion, and you don't know where to start. Okay? So Mark is saying, I'm blown away by the synchronicity. Mark, the universe doesn't make mistakes, man. The universe is perfect. You're never going to get an idea 1 split second too early or 1 split second too late. You're never going to get that capital that you need 1 split second too early or 1 split second too late. The universe doesn't make mistakes, and it doesn't waste. It's going to give you exactly what you need the moment you need it. Now, it's funny because Lady Yvette's saying there's a lot of noise out there. That's true. There's a lot of people who kind of talk around these things, but you know, when you come in contact with mastery, when you come in contact with somebody who's mastering their game, they have the ability to help you understand very complex ideas in a very simple way. And that's what I hope I'm helping you understand here, because the goal is to get you to passive income. But the pathway to passive income looks different for different people. I chose to take you down a business pathway. That, by the way, is not the easiest way, just so you know. That is not the easiest pathway to passive income. Okay? MSI means multiple streams of income. Multiple streams of income. Okay? So, because one stream of income means I've got one income stream. Multiple streams means I've got inside my business multiple streams, but I could also have inside of my portfolio multiple streams. So if you're like us, we have a stock portfolio, okay? I also own real estate. So we have a property in North Carolina, for example, a property in New Smyrna Beach, and we live here in California. So the property in North Carolina, somebody has been renting that home from us for close to 10 years, They pay the mortgage and more every month. Okay? So business, I own multiple businesses. I've already shown you businesses I own, and each of those businesses has multiple streams inside. So when you start building a portfolio, you have multiple streams of income inside your multiple streams. Okay? So Kim's asking if I can repeat the mastery quote. I'm not sure because it was kind of unconscious competence, but what I was saying is when you come in contact with a master, they have the ability to take very complex ideas and simplify them so that you can grab a hold of them. Okay? This is what I want to do with you. The reason I teach the 9 environments and the core business wheel is I can take anything that you need to learn and put them inside of those buckets. Okay? All right, I'm just reading what Ken says. I greatly appreciate all that you're teaching and that you've done, accomplished. I struggle to keep up with one business and let alone multiple ones. My current mindset can handle all this. Okay, very cool. And sometimes, Ken, and this is the reason, I've been building the company again from scratch. And 2 of our companies are now starting to scale. So I haven't had the bandwidth to help other entrepreneurs with their businesses. So I've been taking some of these things and when I record this can go out to 100 people, it can go out to 100,000 people, and people can learn from this, right? So I'm leveraging, in this case, my time. So I don't have to teach this topic again. I won't teach this topic again because it's here. You can learn this. But I have started looking at, well, do I want to do something where I get a group of people together again and mastermind with them and help them with their business and dive deep and give them strategies and tactics and resources and that kind of stuff. So I've been playing with, I had this conversation with my wife today, actually. We went for a walk and I said, honey, these things are growing. We're going to have to continue to grow and scale them. But I'm also kind of missing this part. I'm missing the psychic income in some of these things. Okay, so I'm considering it. I haven't made that decision. Actually, that's not true. I did make a decision. I'm going to host at least one mastermind group here at my house. I just haven't decided who I'm going to do that with. And what do I think about Bitcoin? I don't know enough to be educated on it. I studied it about, 2 weeks, for about 2 weeks a decade ago. And not a decade, that would be way over, probably 4 or 5 years ago when it first started coming out, and it was not an area that I know enough about, so I can't speak to Bitcoins. That's a deep rabbit hole from what I understand. Okay, so passive income. Remember, the goal of passive income is you're not trading your time to produce that revenue. Somebody else will be, okay? I don't care if it's real estate. Like our real estate property, for the most part, is passive income. I get a report every month, and they deposit it directly to my account. So here's the way that our passive real estate works, all right? Number one, I had to generate the capital from my business to down pay on the real estate property. All right, so my business generated the capital, and then I hired a real estate professional to identify a cash flowing property. Then I had to have them leverage their team of mortgage, title, escrow, and find me a property manager, because I'm not going to manage a property on the other side of the country. So now the property management team is responsible for putting the tenants in there, for managing all of the repairs that have to be done, for collecting the monies, depositing in my account, and giving us the bookkeeping. That then goes to my CPA and my bookkeeper. So I've built that asset over on the side. It has cash flow and appreciation. So I look at that as one revenue stream. Somebody else has been paying my mortgage, okay? So an example of a cash flow property is a rental property. That can be a single family, it can be a duplex, it can be a condo, it can be a high rise, it can be 1,000 units, it could be a commercial building. But the way that I think of things is I'm not going to be in the real estate business. I want to own real estate, but I'm not in that business. Does that make sense? Okay? So I always start with the passive income thinking in mind, even the ones that I build. How do I build this to the point where it takes less and less of my time? And I know John does the same thing. Okay? This is what you call leveraged income. And when I talked about a 10x formula, I want you to understand that what a 10x formula means is, yes, you want to grow your active income from $100 to $1,000 per hour. That's not the 10x formula, okay? That's just 10xing your income. The reason that I believe that passive income is worth 10 times active income is because when you have true passive income, income that comes in every month, every quarter, or every year, that didn't require your life energy to do it, it's worth 10 times as much because you can go do 10 other things. Does this make sense? You understand that passive income, which is truly passive income, is the goal. So I have, for example, numerous passive income streams. And I'm not saying this to brag. I'm just telling you because I want you to think this way. I have numerous passive income streams that aren't even my businesses. In other words, because I have businesses that have clients, I have recommended products and services to those. And as a matter of fact, I didn't even put one of the businesses I've owned for 15 years on here called Coach Genie. Okay? Coach Genie is a web hosting company that has over 100,000 customers that pay $35 a month for websites, right? Pretty cool business. I started it 15 years ago, right? I don't do anything with that business. I don't manage the technology. I don't do any of that kind of stuff, all right? That business has affiliates that promote that business. All of my businesses, John's business, has affiliates who can make money off of the products that we service and we sell. Why? Because there's a lot of people who say, I love that product or service. I know this group of people over here would love it. I'm going to connect it to them and I'm going to earn an override. Technologies are some of my favorite ones. Okay? So if you can find companies that you believe in, maybe it's hosting services, maybe it's website companies, maybe it's Neurogym, maybe it's Ultimate Game or Power or whatever. Affiliate income is a great income stream, especially if it's recurring. All right? So if you haven't checked out this guy, this is a podcast that I enjoy. His name is Pat Flynn. Is it Pat Flynn? I'm blanking on his name now. Smart Passive Income. I believe it's Pat Flynn. Is that right? Somebody tell me. I can't believe I'm blanking. I listen to his stuff every week. Yes, Pat Flynn. He's here in San Diego. I haven't met Pat yet, but I would enjoy meeting him. But if you listen to his show is pretty cool. It's pretty unique. But in the top right-hand corner of his website, do you see where it says 166,000? Like, look up here, right here. If you go to his website, which is smartpassiveincome.com, I don't have any affiliate relationship with him, but if you go to his website, go click on that little thing and look up his monthly reports. He generates over $100,000 a month by referring other people's products and services. And he shows you which ones and how much he makes. So his strategy is to build a big audience through his podcasts and then recommend other people's products and services. And then he started to build his own products and services. That's his business model. Okay? Now he has a team that helps him. He puts on a great show. He does all this kind of stuff. But he turned a podcast into $100,000 a month passive income stream. Even if he stopped his podcast today, their clients who are using those web hosting services every month would keep paying those other technology providers. Okay? So that's affiliate income. How many of you have multi-level marketing income? How many of you have some kind of product or service that you love and you have multi-level, meaning that you get paid not just for referring somebody to the company, but for building a team, right? Keller Williams is a multi-level system. Aflac is a multi-level system. Amway is a multi-level system. Okay? Now, depending on the products and services that they sell, some of the products are fantastic, some of them are mediocre. Okay? But the reality is, they are a business where you can become a licensee or however it's structured, and you can recommend to your friends or family or whoever those products or services, and you get paid for the more people that are consuming those products and services. Okay? So that's the idea. It's really, really straightforward. It's not a hard concept to get. Okay? So what's the ultimate goal? The ultimate goal is this: active income that has you in the pursuit of mastery. You're going to be trading your time for something. I don't care what it is, all right? I care, but it's not up to me to tell you what that is. Active income is something that has you in the pursuit of mastery. Make sure that you're pursuing mastery, all right? Whether it's building a business, investing in real estate, selling something, it doesn't matter what it is. Active income has you in the pursuit of mastery. Number two, psychic income. from expressing your values in pursuit of your personal mission and vision. What do you want to see in the world? Each of the companies that I mentioned, like Power, for example, I am passionate about moving the world to a clean energy because it will improve the environment for everybody. I'm passionate about that. Number two, Ultimate Game. I am passionate about people being happy, healthy, and wealthy. And so I want to build that brand around the world. Number three, U.S. Green Chamber of Commerce. It's a nonprofit. I'm chairman of the board. I'm passionate about every business out there becoming more sustainable, right? I'm not passionate about real estate, but I invest in it. I'm not passionate about the stock market, but I invest in it. My active income is always tied to psychic income. I'm passionate about helping entrepreneurs. I love entrepreneurs. I think entrepreneurs are who's going to change the world. And I also know a lot of entrepreneurs, like me when I was younger, don't have a clue how to get out of their own way. They don't have the right business model. They're oftentimes off track, and that can be frustrating because you believe in what you're doing, but you're not getting the right coaching and mentoring, right? How many of you would agree? How many of you know yourself or other entrepreneurs that simply aren't accelerating as fast as you could because you don't have all the support that you need? Okay? So make sure that your active income and your psychic income are together. All right? The third thing, passive income. The goal is to get your passive income to exceed your monthly expense by 2x or 5x or 10x or 100x. When your passive income exceeds your monthly expense, in other words, when your cash flow every month is greater than your monthly expense, you're free. You're out of the rat race, as long as it's from a truly passive source. So if some of you recommend John's products or my products or other people's products to a lot of people, and we pay you every month for doing that, guess what? Our team is building the products and services and customer support and HR and legal and this and that, and you're getting a check for it. That's a pretty cool thing. And if that income exceeds your monthly expense, you're technically out of the rat race. You can do whatever you want. You can go build more income or you can do whatever, okay? Last one, multiple streams of income that protect you from the ups and downs of inside industries and economic shifts. Listen, we know the economy goes up, we know the economy goes down. We know industries go up and industries go down. We know industries are getting completely wiped out. How many of you would like to be in the fossil fuel industry for the next 20 years? Probably not, right? Especially with everything that's happening with the Paris climate conversation, right? With 187 mayors saying our cities are moving to clean energy, with wind and solar and power and everything coming. Okay, so there's industries that are not going to be around. Like, you don't want to be in the horse and buggy industry when Ford came out with a car, right? You don't want to be in the vinyl record industry when CDs and MP3 players came out, okay? So here's the simple reality. If your market is changing, you have to change. Step back and get into an active income that you're pursuing mastery. Get your psychic income up so you're expressing your values, your strengths, your gifts, and your talents. Don't allow yourself to waste your life on things you don't enjoy. Build passive income so that you're free to do the things that you want to do to pursue mastery in your life, and build multiple streams of income to hedge your bet against the ups and downs of economies. All right? So, my friends, this was what I wanted to share with you today. I'm going to give you a quick run through of everything. Right? I asked you to open your mind. And by the way, you can ask questions or whatever you want. I'll stay on for the next 7 minutes and answer these. But I wanted you to open your mind to the possibility of being financially free. I want you to have multiple streams of income, whether they're active or passive. I want you to have the financial resources to pursue your dreams. I shared with you that the financial environment is simply a subset of your whole life. Don't let it consume your life. It is an environment that is a subset of your 9 environments. And so are businesses and these pathways to wealth, right? I share with you to make sure that you're not just collecting a paycheck, but you're mastering your craft. I want you to gain mastery in something so you add more value to the world. I want you to have psychic income so you express your strengths, your gifts, your talents, and you'll always be getting better. I want you to contribute that back to the world so you actually make a difference. We are in such an impact-driven economy right now, and we're heading there even more, that if you're doing something that isn't truly changing the world, you might be behind the times. And I want to make sure that it's aligned with your values, what you want out of the world, okay? Then I shared with you that every business starts as active income and can become passive in MSIs, and that should be the goal. even if you always work in your business, you want to have the opportunity to have it be a true business in your life, okay? And you can create multiple streams of income in portfolio, affiliate, MLM, real estate, businesses. These are all different streams. We own all of these, but I didn't do it overnight. I had great mentors, great coaches. I invested every day. Look at my office here, right? I study every single day. I'll pick you up and take you here, right? Every single day I'm studying. I'm getting better. Why? Because I know if I do that, I'm going to master my game. Create multiple streams of income in your business. There's examples here where I showed you every business has multiple streams of income, right, inside of those businesses, but get one cranking first and then develop passive income because it's worth 10 times as much as anything else. I talk about a cool open book policy that Pat's done here. Go check out his website. It might inspire you to realize, wow, I can make good passive income no matter what I do. And then again, the ultimate goal, have your active income be pursuit of mastery. Have your psychic income expressing your values. Create passive income that's 2x or more your monthly expenses, and create multiple streams of income that protect you from the ups and downs of industries and economic shifts. Okay? So that's it, my friends. I wanted to dump as much as I could for you. I hope that this was valuable. If it was, let me know. If there's anything I can ever do for you, you can find me on Facebook. The way to connect with me, because I don't have any room left for friends on my personal profile, is to follow me at facebook.com here, I'll give it to you, facebook.com/itsjimbunch. Every Tuesday and every Friday I do live streams. Tuesday is on business and Friday is on life. So ultimate business is on Tuesday and how to create an ultimate life is on Friday. All right, so I hope that this was valuable for you. You know, John's been one of my best friends, and he was in my wedding. We've raised our families together. He lives right down the road here, and anytime that I can help you and help him, I'm happy here. I think we have a couple of other events planned where I'm going to be teaching you other things this year. So if this was valuable, then please let the community know, let NeuroJim know, and let's make sure that we tell as many people as we can. I'm here to help as many people as we can get free mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. Those live streams are at 12 o'clock Pacific on Tuesday and 12 o'clock Pacific on Friday. And there's a bunch of them in there, by the way. You can go in there and look at all the ones on business and all the ones on life. Facebook has this new thing on videos where you can have playlists. So we have them categorized in playlists, and you go look at the topics that you want. Okay? That link doesn't work. Here, let me find the link. Oh, I know why I didn't have the. Here, let's try this one. Go in there and like it. Try that. Let me know if that works. I didn't have the S in there. Thanks, Robert. All right. Cool. Any questions before we wrap up? You're cheersing? Yay! That's what I want to hear. So, Michael, that's a good question. If you don't have income, to pay people, then you've got to get them bought into your vision and mission, and they can work for you part-time. You can do barter. You can do trade. You can leverage those things. Okay? Very cool. You're asking how do you become an affiliate? It depends on which business. So again, you can always message me at the facebook.com/itsjimbunch. You can message me on there, and I'll do my best to get back to you. I've got 146,000 people on there, so it does take me a while to get back to some of those. All of the businesses, that's funny. JimBunch.com is me also. We're going to be redoing that site soon. 4 a.m. there. You do some networking later after sleeping. Good, Maria. Well, congratulations for staying up live. I hope it was valuable. How do you become your affiliate? Jim Bunch doesn't have an affiliate thing, but the Ultimate Game does. Power has a licensing program. Green Chamber, we don't have an affiliate thing. It's a nonprofit. Okay, but if you message me, I'll be happy to share whatever I can as far as resources. All right? All right, everybody, have an awesome, awesome week. We're going to wrap it up. Thank you to Courtney and the rest of the team here for staying on for the full 90 minutes. I am Yeah, I'm super excited to contribute to the community and looking forward to seeing all of you creating active income, psychic income, multiple streams of income, and of course, passive income streams. This is Jim Bunch saying until we connect again, have fun, and remember, it's your choice to create your ultimate life. Talk to you soon.